Hello, Warriors. Another week means new opportunities. Who's ready? Brand, I hope you feel better. Godspeed, buddy. Hi, Shahab. Glenn, Kman, Ryan. Glad you're feeling better, Ryan. James, Mike, AJ, Laura, Hugo, Ingmar. Hugo saying, let's go. All right. Blake's here. Let's go to work. So I'm going to start off with Ryan. Good morning, buddy.
Morning, mate.
All right, so the setup coming in this morning is we have higher lows across the board after a little feeble bounce here. Should we trust these lows? Maybe try something here in the next day or so and risk the lows on euro, or would pound be the preferred, or would it be Aussie? Have US dollar yen putting in a lower high. Same with Canada and same with the Dixie. So are these fades here? And which ones would you be are compelling enough to take some risk for?
I don't think any of them are well. I don't think any of them
Any
are
of them?
fades.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fight the trend at the moment.
Okay.
Euro dollar. I always bang on about it. 108.30, 108.70. It's my multi-year zone. And when we come down here, we always do something. We've come in below the top of the zone at 70. We're holding it.
Yeah.
That gives you enough clue at the moment. We had a little move last week below 108.30. It hasn't stayed there. It's got back in. So I take the whole area, 108.30, 108.70. If we're below 108.30 and holding, then we're probably heading much lower. It's on a wider time frame. We're pretty much bang in the middle of the 105, 104.50 to 112 range. So it's an important level, this zone. Back above 108.70 and it's holding, then we may be looking at a bit of a reversal, maybe back to 110. Below 108.30, we're probably heading to 107.
I favor the long in euro because Kman, while you were out, pointed out euro pounds reversal right off this line. That's a Kman line. Anyone else using it, you do have to pay royalties to Kman. We'll get his fire information out to you soon. So I'm thinking if I do fade anything and try and buy it, it'd be euro over cable.
Yeah.
So
you've got to be careful with euro dollar if you're looking at euro sterling, because we got Bailey speaking, we've got the budget coming up, a whole load of stuff for the pound side of things. So euro sterling bouncing doesn't necessarily mean euro dollars going up. We've still got an ECB. They may not have gone to 50, but the market's expecting them to cut every meeting down to 2%. And meanwhile, we don't even know if the Fed are going to cut at their next meeting. So rate divergence is the game for euro dollar. And until that changes, I would think that further downside beckons for the euro.
Okay, I appreciate that. Why don't we move over to Kman so we have a bit of a lower high. We've came off. This is a 4 drive to a top. Anyway, it's not supposed to be. Well, I'll count from here. But what do you think? Failing rally, could be wrong over last week's highs.
Good morning, Dale. Good morning, everybody.
Morning, man.
We're talking talking about the yen over the flow show as well, and especially on the upcoming uncertainty about what's going to happen over the elections in Japan. We have elections there at the end of the week, and it does seem that for now, traders, players, investors are not very impressed with the risk that the LDP may lose its majority, and it could become a bit of a messy election picture, especially that the main opposition leader Noda doesn't really have a clear program of what to do if ever they manage to get enough votes to overturn the LDP. So it's a bit of a messy picture there for the yen potentially going into the end of the week. So I would be a bit cautious with trading yen this week, especially if you think that, and as I said, we talked about it at length in the flow show, but especially that, yeah, it's imagine that they go into a lame duck situation. It could be a bit painful for the yen in the short run. There's a lot of stuff that can happen in between, of course, and afterwards with the U.S. elections for the dollar side of things. But for the yen side of things, I would be a bit careful this week to be actually on the long side. I think yen could suffer a little more, whether it be versus the dollar or on any of the crosses also.
Okay. Appreciate that. So basically stand aside
Well,
this week for
stand
now
aside or ride the train. I mean,
or
I've
be
also
long.
shown
Yeah.
there's a lot to come up. Anywhere between 150.70 and 152. There's a lot going on
Yeah.
in the dollar yen technically, from moving averages to 50% retracement to the top of the daily cloud, the top of the weekly cloud, the infamous 152. And I wouldn't be surprised if we would be going for a decent test of all those levels even before going into the elections. So
Well, if it follows yields, yields
as
are on the
well,
verge
as
making
well,
new high.
and
Yeah.
it doesn't trade risk at all for the time being. There's usually if when geopolitical risk is high, and then the upcoming U.S. elections, we have thought like years gone by that the yen is actually something that acts as a safe haven, but nothing is hinting even at a safe haven status right now for the yen.
So talking about risk,
Mm,
I thought we were going to end up having a third drive. So I had
mm,
orders layered above this high,
mm.
but I come into S&P's 20 lower.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not going to get. I'm thinking what could drive it is if the dollar comes off, we could get a new high, but
Mm.
looks like it's trying to correct here.
Extremely, yeah. I think we need to get ready for a bit of yo-yo there, or at least some moves, because we've been talking in the chat room as well with about the yields being higher, but what could stop it as well, or it seems that the investors are really now starting to prepare anything from geopolitics to elections in the US.
Yeah.
And the picture for risk or the picture for stocks could get also a bit uneven in different areas. Everybody thinks that Trump is going to be good for stocks, but I still want to see it. But the knee-jerk reaction will probably be that way. So I think your third or fourth drive could take us up to 6,000, but I'm starting to be very cautious on everything, really everything,
Okay.
and also
Also,
on yields. Both of them, both of the spectrum, whether it be Trump or Harris, will probably well, the fiscal side of things will probably drag yields higher. But against that, what is the economic risk? And that could actually hold yields from really ramping higher to much quicker from here. I think until the elections, we're in a more kind of a range situation on those yields than really ramping higher. Unless it's still a pain trade out there, that's possible, of course.
yeah, 420 was a big level. Sure looks like it
Mhm.
wants it. So, also TLT will be taking out its breakout this morning.
Yeah.
But be careful getting too bearish TLT here. This still could be a retracement. Maybe it goes to 92, but it's not a great sign that we're taking out this breakout. I just have a hard time wanting to get bearish bonds after this kind of pullback.
Yeah,
And,
the issue is with all of that, are investors now waiting, or are they or they probably done a fair bit of pre election trading already, but I'm a bit afraid, and we were talking about that, as I said in the chat room. I'm a bit afraid that there's another big leg coming, especially if Trump gets elected also.
Okay, obviously, news flash, I was wrong on the gold silver ratio, all really in one day. So got gold silver ratio, who knows where it's going now. A lot of people longer term are talking 60, 50. So
I've took some
that's it.
profit on my long-term silver today.
What's that?
I've taken some profit this morning on my long-term silver longs.
Okay.
There's big levels coming up around 35, and I also think it's all those well, metals, gold, probably more geopolitics even, but silver is also enjoying the inflation trade or Trump trade or something like that. But up to where? I don't know. We could have a blow off top somewhere, but I
I've
think
heard
35
35.80,
bucks.
35.8. I've heard like 35.80.
Well, I've got 35 and 35. What is it?
I've heard 38, 39.
Oh yeah, I think
Anyway,
we
you
can
know,
actually go much higher, but timing is part of the
yeah,
thing, right? So
sure. Yeah, I'm sure that, some people got out before the explosion.
yeah.
So anyway, it's always a game of inches, or in our business, a game of hours or days or minutes.
Mm.
So I want to say hello to Blake. How are you, buddy?
Hey, good morning, Coach. Good morning, everybody.
Okay. So are you enjoying like a little reprieve from the temps?
Yes, I am, yeah, it's great. I actually put on a
We
vest
made
this
it.
morning. It's nice.
You what this morning?
I put on a vest. I actually put on a
Oh,
vest. Yeah,
oh
I
wow.
mean, yeah, I have the
All
windows
right.
open, so
All right,
it's
yeah.
nice.
Anyway, we made it through another one.
Oh God, these summers are long and brutal.
Yeah, so it's time to be refreshed. Kids are back in school, and it's time for us to make bank. Tell me what you're looking at going into this week, Blake.
Well, there's a couple of things actually, and one of the big ones that I think we should be focused on is we're closing in on the the election, and as we're getting near, we really got to be focused on this dollar mex. I think it's getting really close to 20. And
Grab a
above
buddy.
20 it turns very, very bullish. So above 20, 15, it starts to turn really, really bullish.
Yeah, and
So
you've been trading from the long side for quite some time in this pair when you first I think it was technical, and then you put the election spin on it and been working it pretty good. So let's see your lines.
yeah, I'm long right now, and actually you can see here's this like pennant that it's in. We broke out of this little triangle, but it's a bigger long-term pennant that's developing at the 38% retracement. You can see there's the high to low, and then there's the 38% retracement. This is obviously post-COVID. So the lockdowns, right? So we're pushed right up against resistance, and a break above that level is just you go from a real quick from 20 to 21, and then maybe even to 22, and and then 22 is the 618 retracement, which also is horizontal resistance. And the fact of the matter is we could actually make that move even ahead of election night. I mean, if prediction or betting markets are showing Trump pulling away in his lead, people might just get in front of it. So you could actually see a move like in this example. You could actually see a move above 2015. This is the levels I'm really watching. You get above that, you could be trading up to 21 pretty quickly, even like I said, before election night. Post-election, then next thing you know, you're trading at 22, because that's going to be the one of the big trades
You know,
that
today's
I'll be
upside,
looking.
Blake, is a McDonald's pop because former President Trump was working at a McDonald's last night at the window, handing out food. He
Yeah,
really
yeah,
was.
I saw something about that. So is McDonald's up this morning?
No, uh, no, the Mex is.
No, I
So it
was
was.
wondering about the McDonald's, the stock.
Oh yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, I don't know. No. Anyway, but yeah, I did see that. I saw something about that.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
think it's funny. It's great.
well, hey, they're doing. He's probably going to be doing a lot of fun stuff between now and election night. So, but yeah, the dollar mex is really in focus. Kman was just talking about the dollar yen. We bounced off a major. We bounced off a really key channel support. I think this is a
That's
pretty good indication of. You can see it in Asia last night. We even, if you're a ForexAnalytix subscriber, you probably saw this last night as it hits your mobile device. At the Asian update, you can see we are at channel support last night, and we knew there would be a lot of buyers down here. So, and we bounced off of it. We've bounced off and we're back at 150. As Kman highlighted, there's a lot of risks around the election, and I think this chart is just pretty simple as far as knowing where your breakpoints are. Obviously today's low is 149.08. If you listen to the week ahead video, I gave 3 trade setups for the week. The last one was looking to add to my shorts below 149, and we went to 149.08. That means that where it turns bearish, and it's pretty simple. And then if you want to be on the short side, I think Kman pointed it out earlier, you got the 152 level, you got a lot of resistance up here, 200 DMA. I guess if you put up the Ichimoku clouds, you're going to be the top of the cloud up there, as he pointed out. So there's a lot of different reasons why we could reject up there, and this Japanese election, it's really interesting to hear some of the specifics there. One of the other things that I think is interesting. Let me go ahead and hide this again. There we go. Just put that away. Is the euro, and I think the euro, after completing that double top, whether we get a broader based recovery is to be seen. I'm not sold on it yet. I haven't I know Ryan was talking about it a little bit earlier. I haven't bought the euro. I've thought about it. Just from a recovery point of view, what I really want to do is I really want to short a rally. And what I'm hoping happens is Thursday we have the PMI data, between the Eurozone, we have UK PMIs, we have US PMIs. I hope that the euro gets some sort of lift between now and then, where we can maybe trade back up towards 109, 109 and a quarter. I don't know where we'd peak out, but I do want to be short euros and long the dollar before Thursday. I just don't know where the market's going to be between now and then. I'm hoping we get a little bit of a recovery here. And I mean, you can see this descending trend line. I think that's a pretty good level to be watching, because if we take out this 108.70, which would be the overnight highs, that might open up the door for some upside. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now in the FX market. The other thing, obviously we've seen, you guys were just talking about silver and gold. I mean, continues to truck higher. I don't see why gold will stop. We have this bull flag pattern that stops just above 2,800. We have the 261% extension. And if you guys don't know what that extension is, let me just be clear here. This is 2020 high. That's the 2022 low. That's the 261%, Fibonacci extension of this entire 4-year like consolidation. So I don't see why we won't stop there. And relative strength, as we tweeted this morning, you can see we're coming up to a trend line, but a break above that trend line just opens up more upside, which seems like that's where we're going. I don't know if if the market really wants to stop here. And that's where you kind of look around and you start asking the questions. And this was the title of my week ahead video, was, what's stopping gold here? What can stop it? Maybe I should open the door or open up the conversation. And let's ask Ryan. Ryan, what would stop gold at this point?
Well, a high that holds a bit more strongly than the recent ones have. That'll be the start. I'm still long from 26.20s, and I bought a break last week through that 85 highs, and every time you look at it, it's wake up, it's 10-15 bucks higher, and it keeps going. So I'm not one for fib extensions or other indicators that point to high prices. I'll wait until the price action tells me there's a top in play, like it did at 26.85, like it did at 26.70, and then play it from there. And then you can either start getting shorts once you got evidence that it's topping, and you can go long if that top then breaks like it has this time.
Dale, I actually, and thanks, Ryan. I mentioned on the week ahead video something that you said last week. That gold during Desert Storm had peaked once there was an invasion. So maybe gold just continues to grind higher until you see, oh, by the way, dollar MEX's new highs. We're almost going to trip stops above 20, just FYI. But maybe gold peaks if there is some sort of escalation, that
retaliatory strike,
from Iran or something. I don't know. Maybe that
Israel first. Yeah.
Well, it's tit for tat right now, right? It's back and forth and back and forth.
It's Israel's turn.
Well, I mean, hey, there was a drone that came in towards Netanyahu's residence. How about that? That's a little freaky.
Assassinations seem to be the new political vogue across the globe. At least with that's how people are voting now with AK-47s.
I'm not gonna I'm gonna say this just because it's happened at least a couple of times that we know of here in the US. It's such a we're going into the election season, obviously, and I can only imagine how strong, if there's a second Trump presidency. I mean, the Secret Service is going to have a hell of a job to do for the next 4 years. I mean, if the assassination attempts seem like they're going to be, it'd be like, it's going to intensify. That's all. All I can. Anyway, we don't need to go into that. It's scary. It's scary how this is all unfolding. Anyway, Kman, you mentioned about the Japanese LDP, the elections that are coming up for the new prime minister, right? Mm-hmm. Can you tell us give us a little bit more color on what you're learning and what you're hearing regarding this?
Well, that's what I said earlier. It could be a little messy because the analysts expect that it might be a very touch and go for the LDP to keep the majority, and if they need to get in ship with more than just new Komeito, who also has a new chief and who also seems to be losing votes in the polls. It may hint at perhaps a bit of a lame duck government coming up if they need to get some of the smaller parties on board, where you have some softer liners, some harder liners, and it could get a little messy there. But the issue in Japan is still that the opposition, now the main man being Noda, they also don't have a very clear economic or even foreign policy either. I haven't really read too much about what they really plan to do, and yeah, so that could all be a bit messy. And add to that well, I mean, the market is not expecting Bank of Japan to move this month, which is also next week. Yeah, it could spell a little bit of trouble for the yen, perhaps going into those elections.
But what does that have to do with what does that have to do with monetary policy? Because and I'm asking as a devil's advocate. I mean, one of the things that the market has been worried about, and one of the reasons why we've sold yen, is because they are worried that that Ishiba might be more, forceful and
that was
but
forceful.
right. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, Ishiba said this one line saying that he didn't find Japan ready for more hikes, and
Right. We're not ready for more hikes.
that I think is being a bit taken out of context.
But that's also been reason for this 800 pip rally.
Yeah. It's been one of the reasons for the rally. The other one being that the Bank of Japan is hiked last time, but then all of them seem to say that they are going to continue to hike, but on a slower pace. And then you look at where if you take the main comparison, which is the 10-year JGB versus the 10-year dollars, you're still looking at over 3% of differential. And if one says that Bank of Japan is going to be a bit slow, the differential is not going to close very rapidly because the Fed is now not expected to continue to cut by 50 BPs as well. That is one thing. And the other one is that when we talk about central bank independence, we all know that in Japan it's relative, because that they have like a gigantic load also of debt to finance, and Ishiba has already said that he's going to add another stimulus package. So that's another thing where Bank of Japan is a bit blocked from hiking too fast, and they are shit scared of dipping back into their two lost decades. So all of that is playing into the hands of yen recovering. We had this big recovery, but is it sustainable? We are asking the question now, and I think this question is going, or should be, answered over the next month. And I think we'll know over the next month whether the yen is going to lastingly strengthen or not, because you have the Japanese elections, you will have another Bank of Japan, and then you have the US elections. And then I think we will know when within now and a month, we'll know where the yen is really going to go, I think, in the longer term.
All right, thank you very much. We only have a couple of minutes left. Let me bring in Steve. Steve, how you doing? Good morning. Happy Monday to you. How's Greece treating you? He's muted. Steve, are you there? Wanted to bring his. He might not be in front of his desk. That's all right. Well, if you guys are ForexAnalytix subscribers, you're going to catch him on the morning edge in a little bit. Let's go around the horn really fast. Ryan, since you're feeling better, what are you focused on this week? Where's your focal point this week? We don't have any data to analyze when it comes out today. What you looking for? Whoops.
Well, BOC on Wednesday could be a big one. There's a lot of expectations for, well, the market is expecting a 50 pip cut, which again I find strange. They've already done 325s. Why they need to jump to a 50 is beyond me, but the market is playing that game. As we learned from the RBNZ, these banks are happy to go jumping into a 50 if they see fit. But I think there's still risk around this meeting as to whether they actually do one or not. We could have a buy rumor sell fat trade for dollar CAD. If they go 50, it was expected, so what? If they go 25, that might be the shock trade, and we see dollar CAD heading lower, and that might be a dip to look at buying, because they're not going to stop cutting, and we know what the US side of the trade looks like.
So, you know, and just talking out the technicals with what Ryan's saying here, this extension should take us, you know, that's the false breakdown. False breakdown leads to a breakout. We got the breakout. Should take us to about the 88% retracement. So if they give us, let's say they deliver, you know, 50 basis points, maybe that's what takes us to the, you know, upper end of this big ass range, you know, near the 140 level. You're at 139. Yeah. You could get a little counter trend, buy the rumor, sell the news, right?
Yeah, we've tried it several times to get up to that 140 and failed the last 22 months.
Yeah,
doesn't mean it fails again, but you know, if it does fail again, then we're probably looking at a steeper pullback. But I think that's going to have to be led by maybe some weakening US data. If we break 140, well, the sky's the limit. I've got a bit around 142, but otherwise you go on a weekly chart and you've got the absolutely humongous double top 140, just up near 147. It's like I think 2015, 2020, something like that.
Yeah, but real big up there.
Got you.
Yeah, well, you know, hey guys, you're in for a great treat. Sorry, Ryan, or excuse me, Kman, didn't get to ask you what you were focused on this week, but we got Mr. Luke Groman here, and so I'm gonna pass things back over to Dale. And I want to say thanks everybody for listening in. Ryan, I'm glad you're feeling better and you're back in the saddle this week. If you guys aren't listening to Ryan and Kman on the Flow Show, make sure you guys are there every day. I try to listen to it as I wake up, listen to the restream. And with that being said, have a great interview with Luke. Luke, welcome. And Dale, have a great interview.
All right, thanks. So everyone stick around. Luke must have had some technical difficulties. He'll be back.
Oh, did he just disappear?
Yeah.
We just saw him.
Right.
Anyway, well,
Abracadabra.
let's talk about this while you're looking for him, Dale. Let's do this. Kman, if you're still here, what are you looking at this week?
Yeah, well, I think yen moves. Monster if it would go up to 150.80 or 152. And I kind of agree with Ryan. I think the expectations for 50 BPs Bank of Canada is I think it's a little overdone. So we might for once get a bit of a hawkish surprise compared to the expectations of the market, because I don't think 50 BPs is really justified as they are already on their path lower compared to others. And that's about, and of course, if gold would go up into the 2800, 2820, big levels on gold. So that is all also firmly on my radar.
Got it. Okay, sounds good. And I'll tell you guys, like I mentioned earlier, as Dale's looking around for Luke, the dollar MEX I think is a very big deal. You know, and if you wanted to get the dollar out of you know, off the trade, you could look at the Euro MEX as well. You can see the Euro MEX is setting right up into resistance here. Matter of fact, that looks more like a bull flag pattern. I should probably redraw this. It looks like, you know, a nice bull flag pattern, maybe breakout above, you know, today's highs, and a breakout in the dollar MEX could happen at any moment. You know, I got asked this question in the chat room, and this is I want to share with you guys a little bit of what happens in the chat room. You know, we obviously always discussing the markets, but if you go into the trades room, I got asked from one of our traders this morning about you know, the dollar Mexican peso, and he's like, you know, hey, do you wait for this breakout? Do you put in orders? And with the dollar MEX, it's such a violent currency pair that I don't like to put out orders. Like, I'm not going to just stick out orders to buy or sell at certain levels in the dollar MEX because of the nature of the pair. But if you guys want to have conversations like this, you know, with myself or anybody else, you know, in the ForexAnalytix, you know, community, or with, you know, Ryan or Kman, jump in the ForexAnalytix community. It's only $1 for 10 days, and then jump in the chat room. You can jump in the trades room, ask questions there, and that's where I'm more than happy to answer those types of questions. Dale, any luck with Luke?
No.
Maybe he had to restart. That's, you know how it is. You got to restart everything. So hopefully he was here. So hopefully we'll get him back in a bit. Huh. I will we'll just continue to talk a little bit more while Dale's working on Luke, because he was obviously here. So we just got to figure out when he'll get back. Ryan, let me ask you this. You with the Eurozone PMIs and the US PMIs and the UK PMIs, how are you feeling about this whole situation as far as dollar? I mean, we had some really great US data last week with retail sales. I mean, is there gonna do you even see a world where, you know, the US economy starts underperforming the Eurozone economy?
Underperforming, it's got to go some to underperform the Eurozone economy. Yeah, that'll be a complete collapse. Let's not drum it up too positive. We have seen weakness in US data. It's not been all, as strong as it was 6, 8, 10 months ago. So there has been some weakness. It's just a level of weakness.
All right.
At some points, it's like it's been getting a bit stronger. So yeah, underperforming the Eurozone, not in a million years at the moment. And I see Luke's there, so we can leave that to that.
Well, thanks, Ryan. And I think we've chewed up enough time. I think Luke is back. So Luke, can you hear us?
Yeah, there he is. Hi, Luke.
Well, we see him. I don't know if he can hear us.
You have to unmute him. You're still in control. So there we go.
No, he's not muted.
Not muted.
No.
All right. He wants me to change him from panelist.
Let me see. Yeah, he can't hear what we're saying.
Change role to attendee. Let me try that first. And then bring him back, because that's what he asked for. So you're now an attendee, Luke. And now
okay,
now I'll promote you. I've learned to be very technical now.
You're doing a great job, Dale.
So you should be popping up here. Abracadabra. No camera. I'm asking you to unmute. You're unmuted. Hi, Luke.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Oh, there we go.
Yes. See, I'm the IT guy at ForexAnalytix. You can't hear me? Can you hear me? He can't hear us.
I'm gonna do something real quick.
Right.
Oh shoot.
I wonder why he can't hear us.
He's got to adjust. Here, I'm gonna.
Simon here's Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard him.
No, we can tell him we can hear him. He can't hear us.
I can't hear him.
Oh, I'm here. Just see. Let me do this.
He can't hear us, and I can't hear him.
He's got to adjust these settings down here. So
Check.
Right. You're good now, Luke. Thank patience.
Well, he can hear us. We can't. He can't hear us, but we can hear him.
I can hear you now.
We can hear you
now. We're good. We're good to go.
Well, can he hear you?
Can you hear me, Luke?
No. So I'm going to say, Luke, we can hear you. You have to adjust.
Check.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I still can't. Okay.
He has to, man. He just has to adjust the audio settings.
It's never happened before.
Yeah, problem is when you go in and out of different whether you're using like GoToWebinar, Zoom, it just they pull from different sources.
Yeah. Yeah, that's happened to me in Discord. Okay, so I guess we'll have to reschedule.
Yeah, so anyway,
All right, sorry, Luke. It's okay. You know, stuff happens.
now we can't even hear him.
Yeah. All right. Wonder if it would help if I came off. Trying to no, you can't hear us. We can't hear you. All right, all right. We'll reschedule.
Huh.
He's gone. All right.
All right,
All right,
Dale. Well, valiant effort, buddy.
Yeah, you know, anyway, get used to more and more technical glitches in our world. All right. Listen, everyone, have a good day. Team, who's still there? That's you. You and me are team, Blake. We are a team, buddy. Have a
We
great
are.
have a great trading session, everyone. Your assignment for today, if you're new to F.A.C.E, is to take the trial. Sign up for $1 and see what you're missing. You don't like it, I'll refund it to you. Honestly, I will. I'll mail it to you with an 8x10 autograph picture for your dartboard. Okay?
Of a glamour shot of Dale.
Yeah, for your dartboard. See you guys. Thanks, Blake.
Thanks,
Talk
Coach.
to you later.